work on not being so nervous and talking slower. Imagine yourself getting good grades and working really hard to get into a great school to only be denied due to the quota not being met for affirmative action. In 2008, the case of Fisher versus University of Texas, Abigail Fisher claimed that the University of Texas unconstitutionally discriminated her by denying her application due to race-conscious admission programs. In 1995 and 1996, two lawsuits were filed by Jennifer Grant and Barbara Grutter because they believed that the racial discrimination was in their application, and they were denied to the law school and undergraduate programs at the University of Michigan. So you would think, why is there discrimination in today's society? It all revolves around one universal problem: affirmative action. Fortunately for Ms. Gratz and Ms. Fisher, the Supreme Court concluded that the admissions programs were unconstitutional, but unfortunately for Ms. Grutter, they were not. According to the Equal Protection Clause, which states that no state shall deny any person within jurisdiction the equal protection of laws, does not prohibit law schools' tightly tailored use of race in admissions decisions to obtain educational benefits that come from a diverse student body. As a member of the white majority, I have a strong opinion on affirmative action. I'm here today to explain to you the flaws of affirmative action. Affirmative action was created so that the government's commitment to equal opportunity, but today the minorities are no longer oppressed by the majority. Affirmative action in the United States creates reverse discrimination to the majority, and in a survey I conducted, 100% of you agreed that using race in admission process is wrong. And to end this controversy, affirmative action should be based off of class rather than race. Today I will go over the problems with affirmative action, the causes of these problems, and the solution. The problem with affirmative action is that it is based off of race, and according to the National Conference of State Legislators Affirmative Action Overview, it creates a number of issues which include reverse discrimination, that the concept is to heal the scars of slavery, and animosity between majorities and minorities, and the cause of self-doubt among minorities. Wade Connerly, a former member of the University of California Board of Regents, said that affirmative action creates reverse discrimination. Reverse discrimination is unfair treatment to majority groups from preferential policies, and when colleges who apply race preferences in their admissions, it's not called discrimination, but rather promotion of diversity due to it benefiting the minority. The concept of affirmative action was to compensate for our nation's history of racial discrimination. This might be true, but it's double-sided in that it creates discrimination against those who are not part of the minority. According to the new Census Bureau projection, ethnic and racial minorities will comprise the majority in the future. So with that being said, will there be programs to compensate today's majority, tomorrow's minority for these racial discrimination? Markula Center for Applied Ethics at the Santa Clara University stated that with the majority being continuously denied positions to less qualified individuals, this only creates more bitterness among majorities, which results in animosity between the minority and the majority. Preferential treatment programs are issues to the minority by stigmatizing their efforts and devaluing them. Race preferences don't encourage the belief that they only were given these spots in the university because they are members of underrepresented groups and not because they are qualified. Now that I've gone over the causes and the problems, I'm going to go over the causes. The concept of affirmative action dates back to after the Civil War as a to Civil War to help fix the disastrous effects of slavery. Prohibiting discrimination based on race, creed, national origin, but giving racial preferences has caused years of controversy between left and right-wing politicians and the majority and minority. On March 6, 1961, John F. Kennedy issued an executive order which gave all persons equal opportunity. And although this prohibited against discrimination, it legally created constitutionalized racial preferences and admissions. Now that I've gone over the causes, I'll go over my solution. Getting rid of affirmative action won't solve problems, but with affirmative action being based off of class rather than race, it would end the concept of racial discrimination. What we can do to start is by educating ourselves further on today's affirmative action, by contacting state officials and expressing your opinions, and voicing your opinion to court judges on cases that challenge university admissions that people believe were denied due to racial issues, racial preferences. Today, we covered issues with racial preferences, the causes of these issues, and I've gone over the measures needed to reform this policy. Working hard for a school and being denied due to a quota is wrong, and the United States should want to change the basis of affirmative action and end this controversy. With that being said, we have the power to end what the racial issues that our forefathers created hundreds of years ago. Thank you.